a lower rate increase for next year, but there's a lot of work to be done by both officers and elected members over the next 9 months.
Also, too, just to follow on from that, it wasn't really working. We'd had those 2 meetings, and so I think the team were, my understanding, the officers were going to go away and look at how to present that a little bit better as a bit of a united team. I think that's probably what's happening, as well as obviously someone being on leave. So,
yeah, I think you're right, Councillor Scott, in regard to a different approach, because it was going to be little parts of it, wasn't it? So, yeah.
We get mixed messages. We get told to speed up, we get told to slow down. So if it's a priority, I'll take it as a priority. But I have had mixed messages. I have been told to, well, this is not that urgent. And then I get told it is urgent. So we need to be clear on whether it's urgent or not. And if it is, we'll get it done.
We discussed, if it was included in that day when we discussed our priorities, then it's in there. If it's not, then it, sorry, I don't have that list in front of me, but if it's not, then we need to discuss that elsewhere, but I'd have to dig it up. We'll go to Councillor Parker, then back to Councillor Piddington.
Thank you. Just quickly, I think there's an opportunity here with a form putting an expected date of completion, so we've got something expectations will be.
Oh, look, I agree, Councillor Parker. We actually need some definitive timelines, and I'm still most concerned about other financials. 8 councils, I think, in New Zealand, there must be one to reinvent the wheel. We don't need a consultant. We just need that, Nigel. And we need it not at the meeting. We need it before a meeting so we can look at it and have questions and have our concerns answered.
Alrighty, anything else in regard to... We'll tackle financials later in minor. Anything else from that? No. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the Actions Register update? Yeah, Michelle, Councillor Pye, Councillor Shannon. Any further discussion? Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Move 2 on page 35, which is release of public excluded item. If not, can I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Shannon, thank you. Councillor Oliver, thank you. Any discussion? No. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. First, the proper reports, 9.3, which is Venture Timaru Quarterly Report, and welcome. Is Nigel here? That's right. I was thinking of mixing things up and inviting TDHL up to go first anyway, so let's take that opportunity and welcome everyone. Welcome, team. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Worship, councillors. Thank you for having us for the annual report. I'll give an overarching summary of the 12-monthly report priorities, and then we'll look forward to taking questions. Please find attached the TDHL report for the period 1st of July. This report contains the unaudited financial statements and commentary for financial year 30th of June 2024. The financial statements, although unaudited, include the incorporation of associates' surplus and the property revaluation. They illustrate the challenging trading conditions that TDHL's associates have encountered over the past year. As a result, TDHL's net income is 6.35 million against the budget of 13.25 million. This is driven by associate surplus. The underlying operating being 2.8 million against a budget of 3.17 million. Within this, revenue from 3 1/4 dividend from Alpine has lowered overall earnings. Our activity targets for the year, ensuring that our most important asset, our relationships with council, joint venture partners, associates with stakeholders, remains strong. A consequence of the lower than forecast associate performance is that many of the this is because they are required to TDHL continued to pay a dividend to council as forecast and in line with the statement of intent.
Just some more recent updates. We've been progressing the Alpine Director appointments and we've got some interviews occurring later on this week with all 4 shareholders. In the Prime Port the following week, and as you would have noticed in the media, we're advancing and nearly complete the upgrade and refurbishment works to the Union Bank in Stafford Street, and we also showed another party the other day as well. And we are looking at our options for those buildings going forward. Our AGM, so looking forward to seeing you all at the AGM, and welcome questions.
Councillor Pye.
Flows on page 57, and this is a bit of be careful what you wish for, but you're effectively borrowing money to pay a dividend, and that's not really good in any business and definitely not sustainable. And I just wondered if you wanted to make a comment on that, bearing in mind that everyone sitting around the table wants you to pay us a dividend, but it's not sustainable, is it?
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on there. I suppose first and foremost, you sent us a very, very clear letter of expectation that you wanted greater. So you've told us what we want, or what you want, and we've given you what you want. Long-term business, the associates are long-term. TDHL, or one of the bonuses of having TDHL is we can smooth those cash flows. So yes, we've borrowed a lot to actually invest in capital works this year, or the past year, but we can smooth those ups and downs from the associates, so you can get a guaranteed return when your annual plans and LTPs, you know what you can get. So over time, we're not borrowing to pay a dividend, but from year to year there may be a small smoothing of cash flows. That capital depth to be able to do that.
Finance debt, interest costs, that we can deliver the dividend and continue to deliver.
The side? No, nothing from that side. Okay. Well, sorry, Councillor Booth.
But we've probably seen in the past Alpine Energy do something stupid like that earlier on, and they borrowed to pay dividends, which was not very smart. And so, perhaps there should be an expectation that our dividends are based around a percentage of profit. So I don't know, I'll just throw that out there.
There's a balance with capital expenditure as well, in terms of what debt is drawn down and where it is invested in terms of long-term returns. Alpine, there was a not a lot of return. We feel comfortable that the debt we're taking on and we're paying is sustainable.
To discuss through the SOI process as well. Councillor Scott.
Mine is just following on from that, and I understand the rationale behind Alpine Energy's lack of Q3, Q4, but can you just talk me through how does that work going forward now? Like, we obviously put expectations on you, and I'm sure you do on them, so what happens now? Like, what's the expectations over the next 12 months to you guys?
We're currently budgeting no dividend from Alpine over the short term. We think we can manage our cash flows within that. And we are working with the other shareholders to set the expectations through our letter of expectation and the statement of corporate intent process on reliable network, sustainable financial delivery and dividend returning in the process and timing.